Hey everyone, we are live with an amazing guest in Switzerland leading a workplace revolution at Logitech. Delphine, how are you?
Hi, Evan. Thank you. I'm fine, and thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. And I've been a fan and user of Logitech solutions for some time, so it's a real treat to chat with you about the future of work and collaboration and hybrid work. Before that, maybe you could introduce yourself and your mission, your team's mission within Logitech.
Yes, my pleasure. So I'm Delphine Tonnet. I'm a French citizen. I grew up in Loire-Vallée in France. But since the end of my international economic background studies, I've traveled around the world. I've lived in Canada, UK, US, California, China, and now I'm in Switzerland. So I've covered a broad range of business, product development roles, and marketing as well. And I've really managed global, local dynamics, so different type of products and consumers and audience that we go after. And my group now at Logitech, I've been at Logitech for 18 years, is focused on developing personal workspace solutions to really help people connect, communicate, create in the digital world. So it's all about making work easier and simpler. And I don't have a tech background, actually. I ended up in tech completely by accident more than 27 years ago. My life mission is always to make people's life easier, simpler. We all know how overwhelming sometimes it can get. And I realized working in tech that it was actually an amazing way of helping people to have an easier life, to make everything simpler, and through the different development of technology, adapt to this transformation.
Well, it's a wonderful background and story, and it speaks a lot to the diversity and global nature of Logitech's business. That's really interesting. I mean, many of my viewers will know of Logitech from all of your accessories, mice, keyboards, lighting, and on and on and on. But your workplace solutions group is a real gem. Maybe describe your mission there and the amazing work you do in the enterprise side of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. So my group is in charge of all the personal solutions, so includes mice, keyboard, webcam, uh, tablet keyboards, digital pencils, presenters. So it's a broad range of products that are sold across the world in more than 100 countries. And we address all audiences from affordable price point to make it accessible to everyone, to performance solutions, which are designed more for advanced users such as software developers, designers, video editors, streamers. So we have, obviously, we look at different type of audiences, and it helps us to also understand what people do all day long, from the moment they get their first computer to the moment, hopefully the longest possible, but the moment they can't use a computer or a tablet anymore. And with the diversification of applications and things you can do in the world, in the digital world today, we try to adapt and create solutions that will make your work as easy, simple, and intuitive as possible. So you can stay focused in your workflow. You can work more productively. And being more productive doesn't mean you work longer, it means you work more efficiently. And stay healthy, because being at a desk all day has
Mm,
also some implications if you don't have the right setup. So this is the main focus of my group. At Logitech, the broader set of focus we have, we're really trying to help unleash people's potential
mm,
in a way that is good for the planet and for everyone. And in the world of work, it also includes how people interact in a meeting room. And we also focus on developing innovation, whether it's hardware or software, for the meeting room, on top of the desk, and on-the-go solutions.
Oh, there's so much to unpack there. Really interesting. So let's start with the two tenets you mentioned, innovation and design. I'm always intrigued by your design philosophy and your design approach, very, as you said, human audience focused and, focused on users and user needs. Where does that come from, that design ethos? Is it more of a Swiss European thing? Because it's very novel and your products are always interesting. You must spend a lot of time thinking about users and use cases and user experiences.
Yes, we do. So Logitech has been, is more than 40 years old, and innovation
Mm,
has probably always been at the heart of everything we do. Uh, in the past 15 years, we've really increased our focus on users, and it's really our design-led approach. And it's not about which category or which price point you want to focus on,
mm,
and it's more about understanding a specific audience and understanding um, the roadblocks they may have, what they do, what is being made more complicated today, whether you have 5 steps, 10 steps. So our goal is to always simplify this experience. And and at the end, it's really how we focus on what experience we want to deliver, what we are trying to do with our to interact with our audience, to help them in what they do every day. The technology is more of an ingredient. It's how you solve the
mm.
problem. The focus for us and for my group is, okay, what problem are we trying to solve? And with the big transformation we had in the world of work, hybrid work has changed significantly in the past few years, as we see more and more people working from home and from the office. I think more than, if you look, it's more than 9 in 10 people wants to have the flexible work approach. Um, it's really to understand the dynamic between how they set up their workspace at home, how the office and an enterprise and an IT decision maker, for example, will set up the meeting rooms and the desk, and how we make it as easy as possible for them. Because when you have this transformation happening on a daily basis, on top of, if we talk about artificial intelligence, adding all sorts of new questions for enterprise, there are a lot of problems to solve, and we're here to help and make this journey easier with solutions that can adapt to your needs, no matter the different brands of PCs you have, or the size of
Mm.
meeting room, or the operating system you use. But the goal is not to have to add too much complexity, is to simplify it. And while we do that, we also focus on the well-being of the employees or the individuals, to make sure that on their work they have a good posture, so they don't feel neck pain at the end of the day. They don't have pain in their hands, and they can really focus on what they do and do their best work.
Oh, that's wonderful. One of my favorites is Ariana Huffington, and she's really lately talking a lot about work and the workplace and building a work environment, whether it's at home or in the office, that's comfortable and supportive for all kinds of workers, not just desk workers, but any frontline workers. So really interesting impact, not just on us and the workplace, but our mental health and well-being. So well done. The other aspect you talk a lot about, and I think have done for a long time, is your environmental commitment. You pledged to become positive on the carbon side by 2030, which
Mhm.
is super ambitious if you follow this space. So, what are some of the key strategies there? And it seems like it's a real commitment, not just some of the greenwashing that we see out there. No disrespect, but there's a lot of talk and sometimes not much action.
I'm glad you mentioned this, because it's really at the heart of the culture and values of Logitech. For us, it's really important to help all people to create and communicate and play in a way that is good for the planet and to be accessible for a broad and diverse audience. We are at about our 15th impact report. So we've been doing this for a while, but I'll give you more of the example of what my group and I have led since I led the Personal Workspace group back in 2018. We are the biggest business group of Logitech. We represent obviously a big part of the revenue. We also represent the biggest amount of units we ship. And as part of this vision and culture and values of Logitech, I looked at my business and I'm like, wow, we have a big role to play here in obviously evolving towards the carbon positive of 2030 commitments we had already made. And two big things came up to me during this transition and evaluation of our strategy and plans. One is most of our products were full size, black. As a short French lady, I'm only 1'5", so I'm the smallest hands. All the products were too large, too big for me, so I couldn't even touch the wheel on our, best in class product. So we embarked in a journey of diversifying the portfolio and making it more inclusive and bring more women into our categories. And we are now at about 46% sales out to women. So it created a big
Wow.
differentiation. But we also realized the impact it has on ergonomy, and we can talk about this. Back to your question on sustainability, all the products were made of plastic, and it was really important to drive this change. So we started leading a broad initiative across my group on turning all our products. Excuse me. I forgot to turn off my my and
That's
I have
okay.
some
We can't
visitors.
see
I
anything.
did
So
not. You can see working from home has its
yes, the
surprise.
beauty of parenting and being a mother at home. So no apologies required.
I'm not blushing
Um,
easily, but I am. I'm sorry to the audience. I worked from here today to be at peace and no noise. I forgot it's Wednesday afternoon, and my son is
this is the real world in which we live. So things like AI to cancel out noise and blur backgrounds and all these things are absolute necessities these days.
Sorry. So I was saying we decided to embark in a strategy and execution plan to transform our portfolio as fast as we could across the portfolio and turn all our product in recycled plastic. This ingredient at the time didn't exist. The tooling as well to even do this would not accommodate easily recycled plastic. So we had, I brought someone dedicated to focus on our sustainability transformation. And step by step, we created the ingredients, the materials, the tooling. We worked with our
Mm,
suppliers, and we transform all our products to recycled plastic. So now, 5 years later, I can proudly say that all our products are made, 80% of our products are made of recycled plastic. We
wow.
have low energy aluminum. We are removing all clamshell from our products. There are still again, it's a huge portfolio with multiple categories and products. But we, in the next 12 months, it will be all closed box. And it was important
Got
for
it.
us to do the work before we talk about it. So when we started
Mm,
talking about our transformation and innovation and impact, the carbon reduction we've had during that transition, we had already transformed most of the portfolio. So that has been our approach. And I'll add one more thing, which is very important to us. It's important my group lead this innovation because we are the biggest group, and we have a role to play. We are driving innovation for the company. At the same time, we work very closely with our suppliers, and we also have a strategy of open source, open data,
Mm.
so others can benefit from this innovation we create with our suppliers to help the industry transform faster, countries to obviously move as well in the right direction faster.
Wow, that's just amazing. Well done, and it's really you're quite a role model for so many out there of your peers. The other thing I've noticed is quite unique regarding your team, your organization, is that you have about a 50-50 gender split. Of course, as a woman leader, but also across the company in tech. That is, frankly, unheard of. So, how did you manage to build an organization and culture in tech with that balance? And what are some of the lessons that we can learn from that experience?
I can get back to you on the exact percentage for the home company. I can easily talk about my group. So, yes, in my group, we are about 53% women. We were probably 28%, I think, if I recall correctly, in 2018. So, pretty big transformation in the past few years. And it goes back to the story I was telling a bit earlier when I arrived and I struggled to use some of the product because they were too big for me. We embarked in two big initiatives. So we had sustainability initiative that became pervasive, and it was a key priority for my entire organization to transform and work together. But there were also this notion of diversity of portfolio to bring obviously a broader audience into Logitech brand, but also for us to be more open to different ideas, views, and be more creative and innovative. And we started when I arrived in Switzerland. Actually, I'll share with you a personal story. It helps to make it a bit more concrete. When I arrived in Switzerland, I had been traveling a lot, moving, and I had pain in my neck, pretty much everywhere. And it was at the same time I was looking at this portfolio, full size, black, um, and we decided to open what we call an ergo lab. So it was really to spend more time understanding the anatomy and the differences.
Wow.
And we realized that for women or people with smaller stature, they need a smaller mouse or less curve, or
Mm,
they need a keyboard that is more ergonomic. They need to have the screen at the right height, the chair at the right height.
mm,
So we started to study all this, and we realized we didn't have the ideal setup in our portfolio for women. So we started a project and to focus on women in particular, to really look at all this dynamic of the experience, as well as where they buy, how they react to communication, to really understand this audience end to end. And when I was going to set up that small team to work on this project, I realized I didn't have enough women to put in this team.
mm.
And it's hard to ask a team of men to work on you need the diversity. You don't need all women or all men, but you need the diversity in that team. So that's how also we started to set for the entire team goals for design on who we reach out to and increase diversity, but also how they recruit people, how they consider their own bias when they design, be more open to talk about it, and exchange views and not feel defensive, and just understand your own
Mm,
bias. Everybody has some. And that team, which became pretty much half men, half women, have created a product called Logitech Air Lift Mouse, vertical lift mouse,
mm.
which is now one of our best sellers across the world for men and women. But all the way to about 80% of the product development, we focus 100% on women. And then once we felt we had a really strong proposition, design, experience, we tested with a broader audience and we realized it was a home run for everyone. And this obviously became a lot of the different innovation we work in my group and how we embrace diversity. And I would add one more thing on the diversity and inclusion. My team is actually set about 40% in Europe, 30% in Asia, and the rest in the US. And about 35%, 50% of the team is less than 35 years old. So we have, and I think we have more than 30 nationalities. So it's
Wow.
this constant diversity that also fuel our innovation and creativity.
Wow, wonderful approach to design thinking in a world where designing products for women used to mean just making it in pink, which is a really sad
Yeah, no, it's more than
reality.
that for sure.
And no disrespect to the Barbie fans out there, but yeah, it's not it's not sufficient. So what excites you when it comes to the future of workspaces? We see a lot of changes. Obviously, the world looks completely different than it did pre-pandemic. But where do you see this maybe a little bit longer out, 2, 3 years out? Do you see a settling on a work model that is more common? Because everyone I talk to today has a different hybrid work model. It's almost like every company has its own path, but and there's a lot of confusion and a little bit of chaos out there in the work front still. What do you think?
It's definitely a learning curve for everyone. And there are definitely adaptation and tests to be done. We are, Logitech, we are in the heart of this transformation of work and technology, and we believe that it's really important to make employees around the world happier, to create policies that encourage diversity, inclusion, speak up culture. But we're also very aware that having the right setup and equipment and level of trust and empowerment, as well as engagements and regular connection, are critical. So it's an important recipe, and we want to also lead by example, and we are obviously implementing a new different approach, and we learn along the way and we adapt. If I give you again the example of my group, who really I could not be more proud of the performance and creativity of that team. We are trying to work from the office for people who don't live too far from the office, about 2 days a week. The
Mm,
rest is remote. I work about 3 days a week from home, or I travel to visit the other sites and engage with the team.
hmm
We organize every month or quarter different type of face-to-face interaction, because face-to-face interaction, there is nothing better to build trust, empathy, and try to sometimes when you especially when you face a crisis, to do it through emails communication, especially when you have different culture, have different style of communication. You can create more steam that you need, then you can resolve it quickly by meeting with each other. So even in the way we design our offices, between the meeting rooms, brainstorm rooms, small rooms, and desks, shared or dedicated, we have implemented different approach, but try to implement them at the company level and test and learn and then scale. And we are trying to bring some of our best practice example to the enterprise we engage with for our solutions. And our goal is also to try to communicate even more effectively through our website, because even if you want to help the IT manager to make his choice easier, the solutions you need for a marketer, it can be very different. The solution
mm,
at the desk, and if it's a woman versus a very tall man, are different. but also when you address the software developer, they have 2 or 3 screens. They need to stay focused. They need to surf from one screen to another, from one PC to another, sometimes Mac and Windows.
Mm.
This is why we develop solutions that are completely cross OS. You can navigate from one screen to another with the same keyboard, from one OS to the other with the
Oh,
same
wow.
keyboard at the touch of a button. This is why our webcam are optimized for video collaboration. They are also optimized to do streaming, for example, for gamers, like our latest MX Brio webcam. And if I can take one
Well,
more example,
please.
everybody
Yeah.
talks about artificial intelligence. This is definitely helping people to do things in a way that they've never been able to do it before, have some answers, guide them in the way to communicate. Yet you still have many steps to access your chat GPT from your document. You lose the focus. And with our latest Logi AI prompt builder that we have launched on our software option plus, you don't need to come in and out of your window when you want to use ChatGPT. So you stay in the focus. You don't lose your train of thoughts. And with ChatGPT, you also have to learn to do a prompt. And if your prompt is not well written, you may not get the best answer. And
Mm.
our prompt builder helps you to choose from a menu, very simple prompt, and it will help you to get there faster. So we help you do everything more easily. And there are many tech solutions. I could go on and talk to you about all sorts of new things
Well,
that we help
I would
you.
love to go on and on. I could go on for hours about tech. I'd love to geek out, and I'm sure we'll have more opportunities to do that from CES to all the tech trade shows.
Absolutely.
What are you, speaking of which, you're out and about in the field globally at so many amazing events. What are you looking forward to personally? Do you have any trips coming up, any events you want to call out over the next weeks, months?
I have a few, but the one I think I'm the most excited is probably Adobe Max in Miami in October.
Mm,
There are a lot of fantastic things happening today in the world of
mm.
digital creativity and democratization of creativity. So that's one of them. I'm looking forward to engage with all these creators of the world. As you know, even there is so much content now created, and again, we have a role to play here, and I'm glad we can help.
That's fantastic. I'm going to pencil that in, Adobe Max in October. Well, thanks so much, Delphine, for sharing a little bit about your personal vision and story and mission. It's super exciting, and I'm always intrigued by your product roadmap as well. You have so much in the pipeline, so we must keep in touch.
I'd love to, even. Thank you for having me, and goodbye to everyone.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching, everyone, and reach out to Logitech. Check out their latest products. I'm going to get that Chat GPT enabled device like right away. I need that tomorrow. But yeah, thanks and take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.